Rain doesn't fall in the Olympic backcountry. It attacks. Cold needles drive through Mara's jacket as she crouches in mud that wants to swallow her knees. Her flashlight catches silver, a snare, and inside it, something small is dying. The wolf pup twists against the wire. Each struggle tightens the loop around its foreleg. Blood mixes with rainwater, turning the fur dark. The animal's eyes, gold, impossibly bright for this darkness, find hers and hold. Mara knows she should walk away. She lives alone for a reason. Trailer on the edge of the forest. Cash payments, no forwarding address, no attachments, no complications. No one left to lose. That's how she survives. That's the armor she built from the wreckage of everything that came before. But medics don't walk away from pain. They never learned how. Something in the training breaks that instinct forever. She sets down her flashlight. The beam wavers in the rain, catching droplets like scattered diamonds. She strips the sleeve from her jacket, the cold air biting exposed skin. The pup snaps at her hands, a warning without conviction. Its teeth are still milk white, still learning what it means to be dangerous. Easy. Her voice is low, steady. The same tone she used in field hospitals when soldiers were bleeding out and screaming for mothers who couldn't hear them. I'm not going to hurt you. I'm going to help. The wire bites deep into fur and flesh, military-grade steel. She recognizes the gauge immediately. The tension mechanism, the anchor point design. This isn't a hunter's snare set by some weekend poacher. This is equipment, the kind that comes with requisition forms and serial numbers. Her fingers work the release. The pup goes still, watching her with an intelligence that doesn't belong to something so young. When the wire finally loosens, blood wells fresh from the wound. The animal doesn't bolt. It presses against her leg, shaking, trusting. She wraps the torn cloth around its foreleg, tight enough to slow the bleeding, gentle enough not to cause more damage. The pup whimpers once, a sound that cuts through the rain, and then falls silent. The forest goes quiet with it. Not peaceful quiet. Not the soft hush of rain on leaves. Contact quiet. The kind of silence that falls when every living thing recognizes a predator has entered the space. Mara's hand freezes on the bandage. She doesn't reach for the knife at her belt. Doesn't stand. Any sudden movement now would be the last mistake she ever made. Shapes materialize from the fog. Wolves. 5 emerge first, then 6. More behind them, half hidden in the mist, just outlines and eyes. They don't approach like animals following scent. They approach like soldiers, spacing even, flanks covered, sightlines clear. She's seen this formation before. Night patrols, hostile territory. The memory tastes like dust and blood and failure. The lead wolf is massive, shoulders as high as her waist, dark fur slicked flat by rain, muscles shifting. Beneath like coiled rope. Its eyes track her with calculating patience, measuring threat level the way a sniper measures distance. When lightning flashes, those eyes catch gold. The pup's growl surprises her. Not fear. She knows what fear sounds like in an animal's throat. This is something else. Something that resonates with authority, with rank. Then the pup does something impossible. It steps in front of her, wounded leg trembling, blood still seeping through the makeshift bandage. The smallest wolf in the clearing places itself between Mara and the pack that could tear them both apart in the time it takes to draw breath. The lead wolf stops. Its massive head tilts. Something passes between the animals. A communication Mara can't read but can feel in her bones. The air changes, thickens, becomes electric with meaning. The semicircle tightens. Not an attack formation anymore. An execution ring. The lead wolf's attention snaps to her chest. Her dog tags. The stamped numbers catch the flashlight's dying beam. Unit designation. Service branch. A code that hasn't existed on official records for 3 years. Recognition flares in those golden eyes. And something worse than recognition. Rage. The wolves shift as one. Shoulders lower. Muscles coil. The rain seems to fall harder, colder, like even nature knows what's coming. Step away from her. The voice comes from the darkness beyond the ring. Male, commanding, familiar in a way that makes Mara's stomach drop through the mud beneath her knees. A man emerges from the tree line, tall, rain-soaked, moving with the kind of economy that only comes from decades spent in violence. The wolves part for him like water around stone, like soldiers making way for command. He stops 10 feet away, close enough to see clearly, far enough to react if needed. His eyes are gray in the shadows, but when lightning splits the sky again, they flash gold, the same gold as the wolves, the same gold as the pup pressed against her leg. Mara's breath catches. She knows those eyes. She saw them 3 years ago in a moonlit clearing, attached to something that wasn't entirely human, something that haunted her sleep for months afterward. Collins. He says her name like a verdict, like a death sentence finally finding its target after years of searching. They told me you were dead. The lead wolf lowers its head, muscles bunch beneath wet fur, claws dig into mud. It charges, and Mara understands, in that frozen instant before impact, that she freed more than a pup from that snare. She freed a war that was supposed to stay buried. Hold! Hale's voice cracks across the clearing like a gunshot. The charging wolf freezes mid-stride, every muscle locked in killing tension. Its breath fogs in the cold air 3 feet from Mara's throat, close enough that she can smell the musk of its fur, close enough to count its teeth. The pup hasn't moved, still standing between her and death, still trembling on that wounded leg, still choosing her over its own kind. Tell me what you did in that clearing. Hale circles to her left, and the wolves adjust with him, maintaining the execution ring. Tell me why you touched that pup. It was caught. Mara keeps her voice flat, controlled. The voice of someone who has talked down panicking patients while their blood painted her hands. The snare was cutting to bone. I heard it crying. I followed the sound. And you just happened to find it. His tone carries no question, only accusation, only judgment already rendered. That's what medics do. She meets his eyes, gray again now, the gold retreated to wherever it hides when he wears a human face. We move toward pain. It's the only direction we know. Something shifts in his expression. The hardness cracks. Just for a moment, just long enough for her to see the man beneath the commander. Medics. He repeats the word like it leaves a bitter taste. Gray knife medics move toward pain, until the pain becomes inconvenient, until the orders change. Then they disappear. Then they leave the wounded behind. I didn't disappear. The anger surprises her. 3 years of silence. 3 years of burying everything that happened, and now it boils over in the rain. I was erased, discharged before the ink dried on the incident report, blacklisted before I could even pack my footlocker. She pushes forward, ignoring the wolves, ignoring the danger. The words won't stay down anymore. Every door I tried to open slammed in my face. Every contact I reached out to went dark. I couldn't get a job at a civilian clinic. Couldn't get references. Couldn't get answers. She takes a breath, steadies. They told me you were dead, Hale. All of you. They told me I was the only one who made it out of that forest. The silence stretches. Rain fills it. The lead wolf's growl drops to something uncertain. Something confused. They told us the same thing. Hale's voice has changed. Quieter now. Heavier with implications. That you died in the aftermath. That there was nothing left to recover. Not even tags. The words hit like bullets. Both of them reported dead to each other. Both of them surviving in separate silences, building separate prisons, believing they were alone. Someone wanted us apart. Mara says it slowly, testing the shape of the truth. Someone fed us the same lie from different directions. Hale crouches beside the snare. His fingers trace the wire, the mechanism, the careful engineering. His jaw tightens. Muscle works beneath the stubble. This isn't hunting equipment. His voice has gone cold again, but the cold isn't aimed at her anymore. It's aimed at whoever set the trap. This is Grey Knife standard issue. Serial numbers filed off, but I know this design. I signed the requisition orders myself. Someone used our own gear, Someone wanted us to meet. He stands. Rain streams down his face, but he doesn't wipe it away. The pup wasn't bait for hunters. It was bait for you. To bring you here. To this forest. Tonight. To this exact moment. The pup presses closer to Mara's leg. She feels its heart racing through the wet fur. Its warmth is the only thing in this clearing that doesn't feel like a threat. A figure emerges from the pack. Not a wolf. Something between. The shape moves wrong. Too fluid, too angular, like joints bending in directions they shouldn't. When it speaks, the voice carries harmonics that don't belong to a human throat. The female carries the scent of the ones who hunt us. The figure's eyes find Mara. Ancient, unforgiving, older than anything she's ever faced. The ones who betrayed the old compact. She wears their numbers on her chest like a brand. She's not one of them. Hale steps between Mara and the figure. She was Grey Knife, like me, before it all burned. Grey Knife burned, its ashes scattered to wind and silence. The figure tilts its head. What rises from those ashes? Allies who remember the old oaths? Or enemies dressed in familiar skin? I didn't betray anyone. Mara's voice comes out harder than she intends. I didn't even know what Grey Knife really was until it was too late. Until I saw... She stops, swallows. Until I saw what I saw. Ignorance is not innocence. The figure's voice sharpens. Ignorance is merely a slower knife. The pup growls, low, steady. That same note of authority Mara heard before. The figure's attention drops to it, and something like surprise crosses features that aren't quite features. The air chooses her. The words come slowly, heavy with meaning Mara doesn't understand. That complicates things considerably. The air? Mara looks down at the shaking pup pressed against her leg. Golden eyes stare back, trusting, certain. This is a baby. It's hurt. It needs help, not politics. You understand nothing. The figure steps closer. The air grows colder with its approach. That pup carries the blood of the first. Its choice determines the shape of generations yet unborn. A pause that stretches like a blade being drawn. If the pup bonds to you, truly bonds, the pack will demand blood. Whose blood? The figure smiles. It's not a human expression, not even close. Yours. The word echoes in the rain. Mara's hand finds the pup's fur. Warm. Real. The only anchor in a world that stopped making sense. She didn't ask for this. She just heard something crying in the dark and couldn't walk away. Now that choice might cost her everything. Rain hammers the metal roof like fists trying to break through. The old ranger station smells of rust and secrets and years of abandonment. Mara sits on a supply crate, the pup curled in her lap, and tries to remember the last time she felt safe. She can't. Maybe there never was such a time. Maybe safety is just a story people tell themselves between disasters. Hale moves through the space with the efficiency of someone who's lived here, checking windows, securing doors, testing locks that haven't been tested in months. His movements are precise, military clean, but Mara notices the tension in his shoulders, the way his eyes keep cutting back to her, to the pup in her lap. I'm done being used. She doesn't raise her voice, doesn't need to. The rain makes enough noise for both of them. 3 years ago, I was a tool, a pair of hands that asked no questions. I stitched wounds I wasn't supposed to see. I kept secrets I didn't understand. She meets his eyes across the dim room. I won't be that again. Hale pauses at the window. Outside, wolf silhouettes pace the tree line, watching, waiting, patient as stone. Then stay alive long enough to choose. He turns to face her. Because right now, Collins, you don't have that luxury. You don't get to decide what you are, not until you survive what's coming. The pup whimpers. Mara looks down. The bandage she improvised in the forest is soaked through. Fresh blood, dark against dark fur. The wound isn't closing the way it should. I need supplies. She shifts into medic mode without thinking. The training never leaves. It just waits for moments like this. Clean water, antiseptic, something for sutures, real ones, not torn jacket sleeve. Hale produces a field kit from a hidden cabinet behind a false wall. Military issue. The same design she used in places that don't exist on any map. In operations that never happened. She works by lamplight. Oil flame, not electric. Safer. Harder to detect. Her fingers remember the motions even when her mind wants to wander. Clean the wound. Assess the damage. The wire cut deep, scored muscle, scraped bone, but missed the major vessels. Luck or design. She can't tell which is worse. The pup doesn't struggle, doesn't snap. It watches her with those gold eyes, patient and trusting, as she threads the suture needle, as she positions the first stitch. Easy. She keeps her voice soft. The same voice she used for dying soldiers, the same voice she used for Benji Price. This is going to sting, but I've got you. You hear me? I've got you. The needle pierces skin. The pup flinches but doesn't pull away. Mara works quickly. 3 stitches. 4. 5. Clean lines. Even spacing. The kind of work that holds under stress. When she finishes, the pup exhales. A long breath that seems to carry tension out of its small body. It presses its head against her palm. The gesture is so human, so trusting, that it makes Mara's chest ache. It calms when you touch it. Hale's voice is strange, careful, like he's handling something explosive. I've watched the young ones my whole life. They don't react like that to outsiders. They don't trust that fast. Not ever. Maybe it's just scared. Maybe it knows I helped. Maybe. But his eyes say different. His eyes say this is exactly what he feared would happen. Mara stands, stretches muscles cramped from crouching. The pup immediately presses against her leg, unwilling to break contact even for a moment. Through the rain-streaked window, she spots something. A mark carved into a tree trunk. 3 lines crossed by a diagonal slash. Her heart stutters, stops, restarts at double speed. That symbol, she points. Outside, on the pine. Hale follows her gaze. His expression darkens. Gray knife waypoint marker. Haven't seen one of those in 3 years. His hand drifts to his weapon. Someone's been here recently. Someone who knows our codes. Someone from the unit? Someone who wants us to think they're from the unit. Could be bait, could be breadcrumbs, could be a message I haven't decoded yet. The wolves outside go rigid. Every head turns the same direction. Ears flatten against skulls. The pacing stops like someone hit a pause button. Mara feels it a second later. A vibration in her chest. Low frequency. The kind that travels through ground and bone. The kind that military equipment makes when it's hunting. Something's coming. She moves toward the window. Something they can hear that we can't. Then she sees it. Not headlights. Not vehicles. A red sweep cutting through the fog. Infrared. Scanning. Grid pattern. The systematic approach of a predator that doesn't need to rush. A drone emerges from the clouds. Military grade. Silent rotors. The kind that doesn't show up on civilian registries because it doesn't officially exist. They found me. The words come out hollow. Empty. They found me. Hale kills the lamp. Darkness swallows the station. Only the red sweep remains, painting the walls in pulses like a heartbeat made of light. A loudspeaker crackles. Static. Then a voice. Female. Professional. Calm in a way that makes Mara's skin crawl with recognition. Sergeant Collins, Staff Sergeant, 3rd Medical Battalion, attached to Special Operations Unit Gray Knife. A pause that feels calculated. We know you're there. We tracked your position from the moment you entered the forest. And we're prepared to discuss terms. The rank she doesn't carry anymore. The unit that was erased from every database. The voice knows details that shouldn't exist outside of burned files and buried memories. Vance! Hale's whisper is barely audible, but Mara hears the recognition in it. The betrayal. The old wound reopening. Dana Vance. She was Gray Knife. Before she chose money over oath. Before she decided we were the wrong side. The red sweep passes over the window. Once. Twice. Searching. The asset you're protecting belongs to Directive 7 now. The loudspeaker continues. Reasonable. Patient. Surrender the pup. Walk away clean. Resume your quiet little life in your quiet little trailer. That's the only deal you get. The pup presses harder against Mara's leg, shaking, but not from cold, from understanding. She looks at Hale. He looks at her. In the red-painted darkness, neither speaks. But both know the answer is no. Some things aren't for sale. Some things were never supposed to have a price. The pup is one of them. And somehow, Mara realizes, so is she. They move through rain and brush like ghosts. Hale leads. Mara follows. The pup limps between them, refusing to be carried, refusing to slow them down. Its wounded leg trembles with each step, but its eyes stay fixed forward. Wolf silhouettes shadow their path, parallel lines in the fog, not helping, not hindering, watching, judging, waiting to see what happens next. The contractors are better than expected. Thermal scopes sweep the forest in overlapping patterns. Flanking teams move with coordination that speaks of shared training, shared signals, shared purpose. These aren't hired guns scrambling for a paycheck. These are soldiers, professional, patient, lethal. A flare arcs overhead, white phosphorus. The forest turns to noon for 3 terrible seconds. Every shadow becomes a spotlight. Mara hits the ground. Muscle memory. Her face presses into mud and pine needles, and suddenly she's not here anymore. She's somewhere else, somewhere worse. Olympic backcountry, 3 years ago. Heavy fog that tasted like metal. A mission that kept changing because someone kept rewriting it from above. The ambush wasn't sloppy. It was surgical. They knew the route, the timing, the exact moment when the team would be stretched thin and exposed. They knew because someone told them. She dragged Private Benji Price behind a fallen log, 19 years old, shaking so hard his teeth chattered. His hands pressed against the hole in his stomach like he could hold himself together through will alone. Am I gonna die? His voice cracked on the question, cracked like a child's. Not today. She said it like she had the power to decide, like saying it could make it true, like words could stop bleeding. Not today, Benji. I've got you. Colonel Hale's voice on the comm cutting through static and gunfire. Extraction, now. We're being overrun. Need immediate evac at grid reference? The reply came cold, mechanical, final. Gray Knife is compromised. Abort extraction. Repeat, abort extraction. Assets are to be considered lost. Abort. Assets. Like they were equipment malfunction. Like they were a line item that needed erasing from a budget. Another flare. The memory shatters. Mara gasps, clawing back to the present. Back to the rain. Back to the mud beneath her hands that isn't 3 years old. Hale grabs her arm, pulls her behind a rock formation. His eyes search hers, finding the flashback she can't hide, finding the ghosts. Stay with me. His voice is low, urgent. The past can't kill you. Not tonight. They can. She nods, forces the memories down, forces Benji's face back into the dark place where she keeps everything she couldn't save. There will be time for ghosts later, if there is a later. The unit hunting us. She keeps her voice steady through force of will. Tell me who they are. Directive 7. Hale checks his weapon, counts rounds. Private contractor program, black budget, no oversight. They tried to weaponize the pack, turn them into assets for the highest bidder. His jaw tightens. When Gray Knife resisted, when I refused to hand over specimens, they triggered the abort order. Easier to erase us than explain us. They killed our unit to silence us. They tried. His smile holds no humor. Some of us don't stay dead. Movement ahead. A figure in tactical gear steps into a gap between trees. Female, moving with dangerous grace. Weapon held like an extension of her body. Commander Vance. Mara recognizes the posture, the confidence, the way she sweeps her sightline before advancing. Training they probably shared once. She trained under me. Hale's voice is barely audible, bitter. Before she decided the contract was worth more than the oath. The pup suddenly darts forward, not toward danger, away from it, through a gap in the brush that Mara didn't see, couldn't have seen. They follow. The pup moves with certainty, wounded leg and all, guiding them through terrain it shouldn't know, around positions it shouldn't sense, like something is whispering to it, showing it the safe path. A contractor appears on their left, close, too close. Young face beneath the night vision. His weapon comes up, then freezes. He's looking at her dog tags, her unit number. Recognition crosses his features, something like doubt. He hesitates. The pup lunges between them, not attacking, blocking. It puts itself between Mara and the barrel, growling with authority that doesn't match its size, with weight that doesn't match its youth. Radiostatic crackles from the contractor's vest. Fragments bleed through. The pup is the key. Secure the woman. Do not damage the asset. Collar the female for transport. Collar. Like she's property. Like she's something to be owned. Move! Hale's hand closes on her arm. They run. A shot cracks behind them. Bark explodes from a tree inches from Mara's head. She stumbles. Her foot catches on a root. The ground rushes up. Hale catches her, pulls her forward, keeps her moving. And behind them, breaking through the chaos of pursuit, comes a sound that makes the contractors scream. The pack charges. Mara hears the thunder of their movement, feels it through the ground. And for the first time since that snare, she doesn't know if salvation is coming, or just a different kind of death. The wolves hit the contractors first. Not Mara, not Hale, not the pup limping between them. The pack tears through tactical gear like paper, and the forest fills with sounds that will live in nightmares. Human screams, animal fury, the wet crack of things that shouldn't breaking anyway. Mara runs. The pup stays at her side. Hale covers their retreat, moving backward with his weapon raised, though it's clear he won't need it. Clear he might never need it again. The pack isn't protecting them. Not exactly. The pack is settling a debt older than tonight, a grudge that Directive 7 earned when they first tried to put leashes on things that were never meant to be owned. They reach an outcropping, hidden entrance, old bunker door. Half buried in mud and vine and years of camouflage. Hale keys a code into a rusted panel. The lock clicks. They slip inside as the sounds of carnage echo through the trees. Darkness. Complete. Then emergency lights flicker on. Red glow. Military surplus. The color of blood under combat lighting. A gray knife bunker. Mara recognizes the layout. Supply caches. Communication equipment. Escape routes marked on faded maps. This is where the ghosts lived after they were told they died. We're safe. Hale's voice doesn't match his words. For now. Until dawn. The pack attacked the contractors. Mara's mind races, trying to build logic from chaos. But they still want me dead. The figure in the clearing made that clear. That hasn't changed. They hate Directive 7 more than they distrust you. He sets down his weapon, runs a hand through rain-soaked hair. For tonight, that's enough. Enemy of my enemy. But dawn changes things. The pup collapses against Mara's boot, exhausted, its wound seeping again through the bandage. She kneels, checks the stitches, still holding, barely. A figure enters from the shadows, the same one from the forest, human-shaped but wrong in ways that hurt to look at. When it moves, the emergency lights seem to bend around it, avoiding it, afraid of it. The pack has deliberated. The voice carries that same harmonic wrongness, chords where there should be single notes. You will receive explanation, then judgment. Mara stands, plants herself between the figure and the pup. Then explain. That pup is not merely young. The figure's eyes, if they can be called eyes, fix on the sleeping animal. It carries the blood of the first alpha, the lineage that bound our kind to yours in the days before your kind had words for what we are. When it matures, it will lead. An heir. The word Hale used, now weighted with meaning, Mara is starting to understand. Whoever the heir bonds to gains influence over that generation, over the pack's direction, its choices, its alliances. The figure moves closer. Mara holds her ground. If you are compromised, captured, broken, our enemies can use you to control the pup. Through the pup, they control the pack's future. The logic is brutal, clear, undeniable. Mara isn't being judged for her crimes. She's being judged for her potential to become a weapon against the very thing she's trying to protect. I'm not a leash. The words come out harder than she intends. I'm not a handle for someone else to grab. Your intention matters less than your vulnerability. The figure's head tilts at an angle that shouldn't be possible. The ones who hunt you are patient. They took years to find you. They will take years more to break you. And when you break... She won't break. Hale steps forward. I know what Directive 7 did to Grey Knife. I know what they're capable of. And I know that killing her fulfills their goal. Removes a witness, isolates the pack, leaves you without human allies. He pauses, lets that sink in. Is that what you want? To win this battle and lose the war? Silence. The emergency lights hum. The pup stirs in its sleep, pressing closer to Mara's ankle, trusting her even unconscious. The traitor still breathes. The figure says it slowly. Testing. The one who sold Grey Knife's position. The one who triggered the abort. They are not among the dead. Mara's blood goes cold as ice in her veins. Someone from inside our unit survived? Someone who betrayed us is still out there? Still feeding information, still pulling strings. The figure's attention shifts to Mara, perhaps standing in this room, perhaps wearing the face of an ally. The accusation hangs in the air. Mara feels Hale's eyes on her, feels the weight of every secret she's ever kept pressing down. The pup wakes, rises on unsteady legs, and for the second time, it steps in front of Mara, not facing the outside threat this time, facing the figure, facing the pack's judgment. The growl that comes from its small chest carries weight that shouldn't be possible, authority that shouldn't exist in something so young. The figure goes still. The wrongness in its form seems to sharpen, crystallize. The air challenges on her behalf. That changes things. The air chooses. Hale's voice is quiet but carries. That's pack law, isn't it? The old law? The one that binds even you? Silence stretches. The pup doesn't move, doesn't blink. Its gold eyes hold the figure's ancient gaze without flinching, without fear. Dawn. The figure finally speaks. You have until dawn to prove the traitor is not you. Bring evidence. Bring truth. Bring the name of the one who broke the compact. A pause that feels like eternity compressed, or the air's choice will not save you. The figure dissolves into shadow. Gone. Like it was never there at all. Mara exhales. Her hands are shaking. She didn't realize until now. Didn't notice the tremors until the threat retreated. The pup presses against her leg, trusting, warm. She kneels, touches its fur, whispers words she doesn't plan. Why me? The pup doesn't answer. Its eyes hold hers, patient, certain, like the question doesn't need words. Some choices can't be explained, only honored. If she has until dawn, she has until dawn. She stands. Her legs are steadier than she expected. The shaking has stopped. Hale watches her, waiting. The question in his eyes is the same one the pack asked. Can she be trusted? Will she run? Is she strong enough to survive what comes next? Mara looks at the pup, at its gold eyes reflecting the red emergency lights, at the small creature that chose her when choosing meant death. Show me the ambush site, she says. Show me where Grey Knife died. That's where we'll find our answers. The pup's tail wags once, just once, like approval, like pride. The forest remembers what humans try to forget. Mara feels it the moment they cross into the ambush zone. The air changes, thickens, carries the weight of old violence that never fully dissipated. 3 years of rain and growth and new life couldn't wash away what happened here. The earth itself holds the memory. Blood soaked into this soil. Screams echoed off these trees. Death walked through this clearing and left its mark on everything it touched. The pup stays close, limping but determined. Its gold eyes scan the darkness with an intensity that suggests it senses things Mara can't name. Things that exist in the space between the physical and something older. Hale moves ahead, weapon ready. His movements are tight, controlled, but Mara can see the tension in his shoulders. He feels it too. The weight of this place. The wolves shadow them from the tree line, closer now than before, no longer hunting, watching, waiting for proof that Mara is what she claims to be, waiting for the evidence that will save her or condemn her. There, Hale points to a cluster of fallen logs. That's where we made our stand, before the abort came through. Mara's chest constricts. She knows this place, knows it in her bones. The smell of wet pine triggers memories she spent 3 years trying to bury. Benji's face, Benji's voice. Am I gonna die? Not today. She said it like a promise, like a guarantee she had no right to give. The cache should be here. Hale drops to his knees beside a moss-covered boulder. His fingers find a seam invisible to anyone who didn't know to look. Emergency supplies, comm equipment, evidence we gathered before everything went to hell. The compartment opens. Inside, a waterproof case, military grade. Hale pulls it out, hands it to Mara. You should be the one to open it. Whatever's inside, it's your proof, your ammunition. Her hands don't shake. She won't let them. The latches click open. Inside, a recording device, backup comm logs, and something that stops her heart. Dog tags, bent, blood-stained. The name stamped into metal. Price. Benjamin J. Benji's tags. Still here, still lying where he fell because no one came back to collect them. No one came back to honor the dead. Mara picks them up. The metal is cold. Final. She closes her fist around them and lets the edges bite into her palm. I told him he'd make it. Her voice comes out hollow, distant. I told him not today, like I could decide, like saying it made it true. Hale doesn't respond. Some wounds don't have answers. Some failures just exist. The pup presses against her leg, warm, present, reminding her that the past can't be changed, but the present still can. She activates the recording device. Static. Then voices. Familiar voices. Hale's voice from 3 years ago. Extraction. Now. We're taking heavy fire. Position compromised. Command response. Gray knife is compromised. Abort extraction. Assets expendable. But there's more. Before the abort. A transmission that shouldn't exist. A different voice. Quieter. Deliberate. Giving coordinates. Patrol schedules. Blind spots. The traitor's voice. Mara strains to identify it. The recording is damaged. Water intrusion. Corrupted sectors. The voice warps and distorts. Route confirmed. Extraction window closed before they reach. Blame the medic if it goes wrong. Collins is the perfect. Her name. Her name in the traitor's mouth. The frame was planned from the start. Can you identify the voice? Hale's question is tense, urgent. It's corrupted, but... She plays it again, listens to the cadence, the speech patterns. Something familiar lurks beneath the distortion. It's someone who knew our protocols, someone inside the unit, someone still alive. The file naming convention. She points to text on the device screen. Timestamp, location code, and initials. NC. Hale goes still. Very still. Nolan Cray. The name comes out like a curse. Communications officer. He was reported dead. We found his gear in the aftermath. Assumed the worst. Assumed. Bodies were scattered, unidentifiable. We couldn't recover everyone. His jaw works. If Cray survived, if he faked his death. Static crackles from Hale's radio. Contractor frequency. They shouldn't be able to hear it, unless someone wants them to. Converging on the ambush site. Tonight we take the pup alive. The woman is secondary. Collateral acceptable. Collateral. That's what she is to them. That's what she's always been. They're coming. Mara pockets Benji's tags, grips the evidence case. We need to move. The pup growls, not at the approaching threat, at the wolves trying to pull it away from Mara. It chooses her, again, even when its own pack calls. They run. Behind them, the ambush site waits, holding its secrets, holding its ghosts. But now Mara carries proof. The traitor has a name, and the traitor knows she's found it. The cold metal of Benji's dog tags presses against her thigh through her pocket. A weight, a promise, a debt she can finally start to pay. She didn't save him. She couldn't. But maybe, just maybe, she can make his death mean something. The wolves part for them as they move, not attacking, not threatening. Something has shifted in their eyes. Something that looks almost like respect. Mara went back to the place where she lost everything. She faced the ghosts. She gathered the proof. Now the pack knows she's not just surviving, she's fighting. And that changes everything. The bunker feels smaller now, walls pressing in, air thick with tension and suspicion. The pack's emissary stands in the corner, watching. The wolves outside have grown restless. Mara can hear them pacing, growling. Dawn approaches. Time runs out. Nolan Cray. She plays the recording for the emissary, the corrupted voice, the initials. He was Grey Knife Communications. He sold our position. He triggered the abort. The emissary's head tilts. You offer a name, but names can be fabricated. Evidence can be planted. She's not lying. Hale steps forward, but there's something in his movement that makes Mara's instincts prickle. Something too controlled, too aware. She studies him, really studies him. The way he positioned himself when they returned. The questions he didn't ask. The evidence he conveniently led her to. He knew where the cache was. He knew about Cray. He's been one step ahead the whole time. The doubt crystallizes, cold, sharp. What if Hale is the traitor? What if this is all an elaborate frame? You found me easily. Her voice doesn't waver. In the forest, at the snare, like you knew exactly where to look. The pack tracked the PUP. His answer comes quick, smooth. I followed them. And the cache? The recording? All perfectly preserved after 3 years? Military grade, designed to survive, or designed to be found when you needed it found. Silence. The emissary watches. The PUP presses against Mara's leg, sensing the shift in the room. Then a voice comes from the bunker entrance. A voice that shouldn't exist. She's smarter than you gave her credit for, Colonel. A man steps from the shadows. Medium height, forgettable face. The kind of person designed to disappear into crowds, into backgrounds, into reports marked deceased. Nolan Cray, alive, smiling. 3 years. He moves into the light, casual, confident. 3 years I've been waiting for this, for all the pieces to align. Hale's weapon comes up. Don't move. Or what? You'll shoot me? Cray's smile widens. You won't. You need answers. You need closure. You need to understand why your precious unit burned while I walked away clean. You sold us! Mara's voice is ice. You gave them our position. You got Benji killed. You got all of them killed. I saved them. His eyes flash. True belief. Zealot certainty. The most dangerous kind of enemy. One who thinks they're the hero of the story. This pack, these things, they're an abomination. A mistake evolution should have corrected centuries ago. Grey Knife was supposed to control them. Instead, Hale made us their servants, their protectors, their leashed dogs. We honored a treaty. We bowed to monsters. Cray's voice rises. Directive 7 understands what Hale never did. Power isn't about treaties. Power isn't about balance. Power is about leashes. And that pup, he points at the animal pressed against Mara. That pup is the leash that controls everything. Whoever holds it, holds the future. Mara's medic brain fires, processing, analyzing. Something wrong with Cray's story. Something that doesn't fit. You were injured in the ambush. She speaks slowly, testing. I saw the blood. Your blood. On the rocks near the southern ridge. Self-inflicted. He shrugs. Needed to be convincing. The wound pattern was wrong. She steps forward. Entry angle from above. You couldn't have done that to yourself. Someone helped you. Someone treated you. Her eyes narrow. Someone from Directive 7 was already there. Before the ambush. You didn't just sell information. You coordinated the whole thing from inside. Cray's smile falters. Just for a moment. Just long enough. The emissary moves. Faster than human. Cray is against the wall before anyone can react. Inhuman strength pinning him in place. The medic speaks truth. The emissary's voice resonates with power. The traitor is found. Explosions. Outside. Close. The bunker shakes. Contingency. Cray laughs through the grip on his throat. You think I came alone? Directive 7's full convoy is outside. They're tracking my signal right now. Gunfire erupts. The wolves howl. Pack and contractors clash in the darkness. Cray lunges. Not for freedom. For the PUP. Mara moves faster. 3 years of suppressed training exploding into action. She intercepts him. Drives her elbow into his solar plexus. Feels ribs crack. He drops. The PUP presses against her leg. Not afraid. Not running. Trusting. We have to move. Hale grabs Mara's arm. There's an escape route. I can get you and the PUP clear before... No. The word surprises her as much as him. No? His grip tightens. Collins, they'll kill you. They'll kill everyone. She pulls free. I'm done running. I'm done being the one who survives while others burn. She looks at the PUP, at its gold eyes, at the trust that shouldn't exist but does. I'm not leaving, not this time. The PUP's tail wags, once, twice, like it understood every word, like it chose right. Outside, the battle rages. Wolves against soldiers, old power against new weapons. Mara should be afraid, should be running, should be doing what she's always done, surviving by staying small, staying quiet, staying alone. Instead, she checks her weapon, checks the PUP's bandage, checks herself. There's a route through the eastern tunnel, Hale says. It comes out near the original clearing, where you found the PUP. Back where it started, back where it ends. Mara looks at the PUP. It looks back, gold eyes steady, certain, ready. Then let's finish this. They move through darkness, through chaos, through the tunnel that smells of earth and old secrets. The PUP limps between them, never falling behind, never complaining, never losing faith. The emissary follows, silent, watchful, judgment still pending. But something has changed in the way it looks at Mara. Something that might be the beginning of belief. The rain has stopped. Mara notices it as she steps into the clearing, the same clearing where everything started. The snare still lies in the mud. The wire that caught the PUP. The trap that caught them all. Contractor forces ring the tree line. Thermal scopes. Weapons ready. Commander Vance stands at their center, face unreadable in the pre-dawn gray. The pack forms the opposite ring. Wolves, and something more than wolves. The emissary at their head. Ancient eyes watching, judging, waiting for the final act of a play that started before Mara was born. Between them, Mara, Hale, and the PUP that changed everything. Judgment, the emissary's voice carries across the clearing. The dawn has come. The traitor is named. But the question remains. Mara knows what question. She's known since the moment the PUP stepped in front of her. Will she protect it? Truly protect it? At cost to herself? The PUP must be secured. Vance's voice cuts through the silence. Professional. Cold. Directive 7's claim supersedes any local arrangement. Stand down and surrender the asset. It's not an asset. Mara's voice doesn't waver. It's not a weapon. It's not a bargaining chip. She looks at the small creature beside her. Wounded. Brave. Impossibly certain. It's a child that chose to trust me. And I won't betray that. Then you die with it. Weapons rise. Safeties click off. The moment stretches. Endless. Mara steps forward. Not backward. Not into cover. Forward. Into the space between armies. Into the kill zone. Take me. Her voice carries. Clear. Final. I'm the witness. I'm the one who can expose Directive 7. I'm the threat you're afraid of. She spreads her arms. Take me. Let the PUP go. Let the pack retreat. End this without more blood. Silence. Then the PUP moves. It limps forward on its wounded leg, past Mara, into the open ground, and it turns, not facing the contractors, facing its own pack, facing the emissary, facing the judgment that waited for dawn, and it steps in front of Mara. Third time, final time. Not instinct, not accident, choice. The smallest wolf in the clearing places itself between Mara and everyone who wants her dead. Both sides, all threats, a statement that transcends language. She is mine. I am hers. Touch her and face me. The emissary goes still. The wrongness in its form crystallizes into something almost beautiful, almost human. The air has chosen. The voice resonates with power that shakes leaves from trees. The old law is clear. The bond is witnessed. The judgment is rendered. The pack moves, not attacking Mara, moving around her, forming a wall of fur and fang and ancient fury, protecting her. The shift is absolute, final. The pack that wanted her dead now stands between her and the weapons aimed at her heart. The pack that saw her as a threat now sees something else. An ally, a chosen, someone worth protecting. Vance's weapon wavers. Her certainty cracks. Mara can see it happening. The moment the commander realizes she's been used. That Cray manipulated her. That Directive 7's mission was never about national security or public safety or any of the lies they told her. It was about control. It was always about control. And now she's standing on the wrong side of a war she didn't understand. This isn't what I signed up for. Vance's voice is quiet. Lost. We were supposed to protect people, not hunt children. Her weapon lowers. Behind her, other weapons lower. Not all, but enough. The contractors who remain loyal to Directive 7's true purpose fire first. The pack answers. The battle is brief, brutal, decisive. When it ends, the clearing smells of blood and rain and something like justice. Cray lies face down in the mud, alive, but broken. His conspiracy shattered around him, his certainty proven wrong in the most brutal way possible. The survivors of Directive 7 are scattered. Some fled, some surrendered. Some will carry the scars of this night forever. And Mara stands in the center of it all, still breathing, still standing, still chosen. Dawn breaks, real dawn, golden light spilling through the trees like a blessing, painting the fog, turning the rain-soaked forest into something almost holy, almost peaceful. Mara kneels in the mud. The pup climbs into her lap, exhausted, trusting. Home. Hale stands beside her, not commanding, just present, a witness to something neither of them fully understands. They'll send more. His voice is quiet. Directive 7 won't stop. Not now. I know. You could disappear, take the pup, find somewhere they can't reach. Mara looks at the emissary, at the pack, at the world she accidentally joined when she cut a wire in the rain. No more running. She strokes the pup's fur, feels its heartbeat, feels her own. No more hiding. No more surviving alone. She meets Hale's eyes. I tried isolation. I tried being invisible. I tried being dead to everyone who might care. A breath. It didn't protect me. It just made me easier to hunt. So what now? Now we fight. Not for survival. For something worth protecting. She looks at the pack. At the wolves who chose to stand with her. At the ancient power that decided she was worthy of trust. Whatever comes next, we face it together. All of us. The emissary approaches. Its form has softened. Become almost human. Almost kind. The air chose well. It studies Mara with ancient eyes. You carry wounds you did not deserve. Guilt for deaths you could not prevent. Yet when judgment came, you offered yourself. A pause. The pack will remember. The compact extends to you now. Mara doesn't know what to say, so she says nothing. Just holds the pup. Just breathes. For one moment, one perfect, quiet moment, she lets herself feel safe. The sun warms her face. The pup's heartbeat pulses against her hands. Somewhere nearby, birds are singing. The world keeps turning. She thinks of Benji, his dog tag still in her pocket, his question still echoing in her memory. Am I gonna die? Not today. She said it then. She says it now. Not today. Some promises can't be kept, but they can be honored. Then she sees it, deeper in the forest, barely visible through the morning mist. Another snare, newer, smarter, positioned like a message. Someone else is out there. Someone who planned beyond Cray, beyond tonight, beyond anything they've uncovered. The real enemy. the one pulling strings from shadows, the one who set this entire nightmare in motion. Mara stands. The pup stands with her. Together they face the new threat, the new question, the war that won't end just because dawn broke over one battlefield. They didn't come for the pup. Hale's voice is heavy with understanding. Did they? No. Mara's hand finds the pup's head, warm, real, hers. They came for what the pup chose. The forest waits. The pack watches. The war isn't over. It's just beginning. But for the first time in 3 years, Mara doesn't face it alone. She faces it chosen. The pup presses against her leg, warm, trusting, forever. And somewhere in the distance, dawn breaks fully over the forest, over the clearing, over the snare that started everything. Mara Collins, former medic, former ghost, former alone, now something else entirely, now chosen, now home.